Welcome to Comics Bazaar, the channel of comics commentary and arcana. This video features Wolverine number 63, cover dated November 1992. The cover is by Mark Texeira, pencils and inks, featuring Wolverine protecting Silver Fox there against these tentacles and fangs and thorns. So we know that this is something to do with some kind of memory implant. It'll also be revealed to be a new villain, one who appeared at the end of the previous issue. Like the color scheme here as well, the purples, the greens, the yellows, the blues. I think it's quite effective with just the one or two little details of red on Wolverine's belt and red on Silver Fox's head band. So let's open this one up to the splash page. That is a really excellent splash there of Wolverine looking ferocious with his claws popped. And we have our narrative caption. It's the first person narration of Wolverine himself. It was just a social call. We didn't drop in on Aldo Ferro's little island fortress off Seattle to bust heads and take names. All we wanted was the missing pieces of our pasts. We weren't about to brook no interference. So the claws are popped, and as appeared at the end of the previous issue, Maverick, Logan says to him, "Get out of my way, Maverick." And the title of this particular chapter, 22 pages of story and art, is Bastions of Glory, and the creative credits there at the bottom of the splash: Larry Hama script, Mark Texeira art, Pat Brousseau letters, and Marie Javins on colors. So really this is a fantastic display of Mark Texeira's art throughout this issue. I really think he was having fun with this one, and you'll see it on the upcoming double page spread, but that really is an eye-catching splash to open with. Let's see the double page spread now. Look at that. So we have Logan and the rest of the Weapon X subjects. Sabretooth here in the foreground, John Wraith there, and this is Silver Fox behind Jubilee's shoulder, facing off against Maverick. And this is the mysterious Aldo Ferro figure as well, who was somehow wrapped up in the Weapon X program. So yeah, really cool double page spread, kind of 3/4 page double page spread here with this initial panel, and then Texeira reverses the point of view, and we see Wolverine sticking his finger out at Maverick and telling him, "We didn't come here to get heavy with the dude, Aldo Ferro here. It was him who threw down on us with a surface-to-air missile." So just great art on these pages, such a sense of dynamism. I love the rendering of the muscles and tendons there on Sabretooth's thigh and hand. It's really well done. Let's turn the page, and we see a layout of horizontal panels on this particular page. The colors look especially good here. We've got John Wraith, he's saying, not to mention the body armored bully boy, "He sicked on us, Sergeant David North, aka Maverick." So I'm not sure if this is the very first time that we get Maverick's full name, because he was a man of mystery when introduced in Jim Lee's X-Men issues 5 to 7. Silver Fox here raises her massive gun. She says, "I don't need any rationalizations or justifications to blow a well-developed kneecap off of Ferro or Topo or whatever his real name is. If that facilitates getting the info I want, that's what they're there for. They're there for information." Really love this panel here of Sabretooth licking the claw on the end of his little finger. It really looks malign. He's gleeful here at the prospect of some violence. And also he mocks Silver Fox, telling her, that's telling him, Silver Fox, "Oh, Maverick is looking out of sorts. He ain't no match for the rest of the old team." And Ferro here says, "This mysterious figure, the old team, you remember a piece of that, don't you, Sabretooth? Even with all the suppression programs and false memory implants, the strength of those old bonds burns through. What about you, Wolverine? Do you remember the old team?" And there's a flash there of maybe a gold tooth in his mouth. And Wolverine here starts to flash back the old team. So let's turn the page and see the flashback. So it's like what's being established in issues 48 to 50. and calling back to Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X, these memory implants come with these spikes and tentacles. The old team, Wolverine flashes back, but we were never together in this place. And Ferro seems to be talking to him in his mind. Oh, but you were, Logan. Such a meticulously crafted landscape of pain, so rich in horrific detail and texture. The spikes are so graphic, don't you think? They conjure so many instinctive revulsions. Insect parts, thorns, horns, fangs, claws. Did you think I would use it only on you? Really like the catalogue there of insect parts, thorns, horns, fangs, claws. That's well done by Larry Hama in the script. Ferro continues, a prince of liars, you know who really lives in the details, don't you? So of course that's the devil. Even my own pain isn't my own ass, Logan. How can one really tell? It's all so subjective, isn't it? The professor suspected that you were a special case. It had to do with with the way your tissue regenerates itself. Tissue memory, that's the key, you see. So this is important for Ferro's, what he's up to, what he's after. The professor thought you might be capable of sensory awareness on the cellular level. You see, I only create the images. It's your mind that assigns values to them. Are all these points nerve endings? What are you trying to do by slashing them? So we can see Logan in his Weapon X appearance slashing at these points, these thorns. Shut up, he exclaims, get out of my head. And now let's turn the page and see what's happening in reality once we get past this advertisement. Now we're still in Logan's mind, and it seems to be a flashback to a conference. And did it really take place? And present are Dr. Cornelius, the professor, and Hines. And Ferro's giving a presentation. But who to? He says here, you don't need any more expensive sets and costumes and all that theatrical junk to implant false memories when Aldo Ferro's around to do the trick. And the professor whispers to Hines, Ferro's the most powerful psi talent we've ever stumbled across, Hines. We must have him in the project. And Hines replies to him, but he's also a notorious criminal mastermind. And Ferro continues, don't we have scruples around here? The only reason I found out about this project was because it crossed over the line to criminality itself. I'm talking about money here, a lot of money. Project money saved from not having to do it the expensive way anymore, more money that I would provide. The results would be more permanent and more reliable, and all Aldo Ferro wants is a few crumbs from the table. So here we have Logan in that Weapon X form, and he picks up on that phrase, crumbs. You did all this to my memory to pick up crumbs, and you didn't care how much you had to torture me. So he rips through the table, and then we're back in the gym, Ferro's Fortress gym. You're still messing with my head, says Logan as he sees he's gone. Not just yours, Logan, says someone off panel. And we see here that the former members of Weapon X are all overcome mentally. And we've got Jubilee and Hines there not included in that. Let's turn the page and see what Ferro says. He says, I'm giving all your old teammates a taste of their own bad memories. Silver Fox is reliving an encounter with Sabretooth in that cabin on your birthday. But the question that readers have is, did that really happen? As shown for the first time in Wolverine issue number 10 by Claremont, Buscema and Sienkiewicz. Sabretooth is getting a close shave in a sawmill. And who's this holding his head towards that saw itself? Is it Logan? Is it someone else? Wraith is taking a ride on a cruise missile. And Maverick is getting stomped by, and whose leg is that stomping him? Is it Sabretooth? And then someone throws a brick at Ferro. Looks like it was Jubilee did it. Hines says Ferro didn't just come in and plant those false memories in all of you. Actually, no, it was Hines threw the brick. She says he's the one who came up with the idea to link your false memories to your pain receptors. So that's the idea of a sadist, of course. Hines continues, his theories came with a load of pseudo-scientific baggage to make it all palatable. The initiation rites of the Mandans and the Australian Aboriginals, African tribal scarring, pain and memory reinforcement linked to cultural survival. We went along with it because it worked so much better than our own method, but then we realised that he enjoyed it. See the sadism part. And so he's denying it there, and Hines continues, and he really didn't want any crumbs. He wanted to live forever. He's a Psi-Borg. He did it because he wants your... And then she's cut off because Aldo punches her and breaks her neck, or so it seems. And then his whole style of speech changes as well into that of a gangster. Shut up, he says, you little punk, Stooley. Yous deserve to get your neck broke. You're all chumps, you know that. Chumps cause you thought yous can ever find out the truth about yourselves. So why the sudden change in his style of speech as well? And then, of course, look at this body horror that's going on as well, as his body becomes misshapen, as these thorns emerge from it, these pustules. It's crazy looking, and he seems to inflate and explode. It's disgusting. And if you ever did find out the truth, he says, you're chumps for thinking it would make yous happy. So that doesn't sound good for any of them. And then he explodes. Jubilee catches some of that gore on her face. This is the second time in 2 days that I've been splattered with disgusting slime, because Mastodon exploded over in the previous issue. There's nothing on you, Jubilee, says Logan. He's messing with our minds. And so yes, so it was an illusion, a psionic illusion. So what's going on, and what's going to be the reaction of these former team members? Well, Maverick examines Hines on the ground, and he says Hines is dead, but her neck isn't broken, not even bruised. She was scared to death. And Silver Fox puts it together. Ferro is some sort of hyper psi talent, perhaps artificially enhanced. What did Hines call him? A Psi-Borg? He can make us see whatever he wants. Chances are good that we don't know what he really looks like. So Logan here in lots of shadow as well. And it looks like Texeira is using screen tone on this as well. Intriguing choice not to colour it in any way. Logan says if Ferro was the guy who actually did all the tampering with our memories, he's the one who must know what's real or not. Ferro's the dude who can fill in all the blanks in our pasts. And then Logan grabs Silver Fox and he says, maybe I can find out if this memory I've been carrying around all along about our time together at the cabin is true. Maybe whatever it is that you remember that makes you hate me isn't true. Maybe we can... But she pulls away from him, hands off Mr. Logan, so really communicating to him the distance. She feels no sentiment, what would I call it, like romantic sentiment towards him. Maybe we can take that up, and when and if we find out. Sabretooth is just laughing here. Once a chump, always a chump, Logan. Meanwhile, Maverick is investigating where Ferro was last seen, and he finds a trapdoor in the floor. So Wraith uses his talent to create some shaped charges that will blow open a hole in the floor and reveals this spiral rampway down deep beneath the ground. But meanwhile, we have a scene set in Salem Center with Professor X and Jean Grey, so the X-Men's own psi talents, and the Professor's getting a readout from Cerebro. Odd, such a brief surge, but so powerful. An incredibly strong psi talent is out there. Look, Jean, the reading is off the scale, and it disappeared completely after it peaked. A psi this strong doesn't just pop up like that, it has to develop. The only explanation is that this one has been masking itself from Cerebro all the time, and just momentarily, the mask slipped. It would take enormous amounts of energy and concentration to put up a barrier against Cerebro's sensors for this long. Perhaps this one was distracted? Had to divert powers to some other task? Jean, did you get a directional fix? So Jean basically points her backside at the Professor and says, yes, Professor Xavier, it's an island off Seattle. So Larry Hama couldn't really do much with the image here that Texeira gave him, but it's a little bit just bananas to have her posing like this. But as I said at the beginning of this video, Texeira just enjoying himself on the art here. And any teenage readers will be enjoying it too. So another couple of great pages here, and this is really interesting, where Silver Fox takes command of the team. She says, here's the drill. Logan takes point and Sabretooth is slack man. I'll follow as command element with Maverick as security. Wraith takes the drag and provides extraction cover. Jubilee asks, where do I go? You don't. So she just takes that. Oh, she says. So now they start moving down the spiral rampway. Let's move out smartly, says Logan. And he's in point. What is this, an appliance showroom? Asks Sabretooth. Their computer, says Logan. Sure he's got enough of them? This sector is clear. Reported in. Check. So Sabretooth stops messing around, stops joking around. He snaps in to mission mode. And this is really selling the fact that these people have all worked together on these Black Ops missions. Clear, clear. She gets the readout in her helmet. We're on deck, Maverick. Locked and loaded, he says. Cover in advance. Leapfrog, Overwatch. Clear and cover. So he checks that. Clear, he says. Go for it. Move out Wraith, she says. So Wraith joins from behind. And Jubilee's upset. This bites. I've been up against really tough dudes like Mandarin. So a call back to Uncanny X-Men. 256 to 58 there. Do I got to stay behind for this chump? So, but they're all in mission mode down here. Logan says point man is clear. Silver Fox replies command element is clear. Wraith at the back says drag is clear. Command security is clear, says Maverick. Sabretooth. Slack man is clear. And then with everyone clear, Silver Fox gives the command to advance. I just really like this from Hama. I think it's really well done. Let's get past these advertisements. And so they're making their way down the rampway past all of these computers. And Logan is thinking to himself, we're a team again. Here I am, not even recovered from the death of Mariko, and I'm on a mission with Silver Fox and the guy I thought had killed her. What's going through her head? What is the terrible thing she thinks I did? Worse, did I really do it? Do I want to find out? So Sabretooth didn't kill her. In fact, he was my teammate and later my partner. Could he possibly be? So he was about to ask father, but he denies that. No. What about Maverick? How much does he know that he's not telling me? Why is he so trigger happy but so guilty about it? Wraith? Is this guy really a mutant? Is he a space jumper? How come he doesn't make a pop like Nightcrawler? How come he didn't show up on Cerebro? But then we're back in the mission. But I really like this page, and I like the way that Texeira gives us these little kind of glimpses of the characters, their faces, the determination on Sabretooth's face there while he's mission focused. And Silver Fox taps into one of the computer banks. I'm tapping into this console to find out what's ticking through all these mainframes we're tiptoeing past. And then she sees something. No, security codes. Ferro must figure this place is impregnable. What's coming up on the readout? Holy, she exclaims, this entire spiral network of computers is devoted to a single task. Genetic decoding. It's been trying to crack one specific genetic code for over 20 years. A code taken from a biopsy sample labeled Logan. So Wolverine himself says that was too easy. Why would the computer just tell you all that unless it wasn't really a computer? And then the computer starts turning into this organic horror. And it's John Wraith, or sorry, not John Wraith, it's Ferro. His face is popping out of the tree. And we saw this tree in the previous issue where he's chained up to a radiator encased in the tree. Pretty astute for a chump, he says, as he grabs Silver Fox with the branches and slurps her inside. It's pretty disgusting. And Logan, of course, goes berserk. It's a great panel here, great anchor image. And then the decision to put everything in silhouette there as he's slashing away at the tree. Ripping, slashing. But the others are looking on. And they're looking on coolly. And Maverick asks Wraith, what do you see, Wraith? Wraith replies, I don't know anymore. I thought I saw that computer turn into a weird tree with Ferro's face. I thought I saw that tree gobble up Silver Fox. And Sabretooth says, well, it sure ain't no tree no more. It's back to being a computer or what's left of one. And Silver Fox is gone. And you can see the look on Wolverine's face there. He's absolutely distraught. And here he is crying. There's snot coming out of his nose as well. Great work by Texeira. As I said earlier, I'd say he's enjoying himself with this one. But there's Silver Fox's medicine pouch on the ground. Maverick picks it up and says, Ferro has her. He could be anywhere. He could be anything. He might even be one of us, or even two of us. That's an interesting thought. Wolverine's growling, and he yells, come out and show yourself, bring her back. Jubilee's listening from way up on the top, or like on the floor of the gym. Hey, what's happening down there? She asks, is everything all right? And then someone off panel says, I assure you everything is fine. Who is this? Turn the page. Jubilee turns around. It's Jean Grey and Professor X, but why is the professor's face mostly in silhouette and shade there? It looks a little ominous. He says, or Jean says, we got a massive reading on Cerebro about 4 hours ago and zoomed right over in the Blackbird, and we saw that. Not them getting in the Blackbird though, but we saw them get the reading. Whoever this side talent is, he's no match for Jean and me combined, says the professor. And Jubilee's delighted. Hey guys, you'll never guess who just showed up. But look, the final panel, the spikes emerging from them, the grin on the professor's face. Jubilee says, are we ever going to show some fireworks now? But there's a twist. Is this Ferro? Is he appearing as Jean Grey and Professor X, and he's pulled their images from Logan's mind? Next, A Place for Dying. So this is kind of ramping up and turning into an interesting storyline, delving in to Logan's mysterious past and the Weapon X or Experiment X program. And it looks great by Texeira. He's doing some fantastic work. Really cool stuff. Yeah, this is enjoyable. So 1 page of letters here. We finally get a reference to the fact that Mark Silvestri is gone. So sadly, Mark Silvestri, and his name is spelt wrong. It's almost like an insult to spell his name wrong as well. Mark Silvestri has left these pages to pursue other projects, and we wish him the best of luck. And that's it. No little tribute to him in terms of all the work he did for the X offices over the years. A bit cold. Anyway, there you go. So I do hope that you enjoyed this review and commentary on Wolverine number 63. Great work by Hama and Texeira. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments section. If you enjoyed my review and commentary, please like and share the video. It really does help the channel. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more content like this.